Okay, let's start it. So for this class, we are going to do section 8.6. On the syllabus, it was scheduled for next Tuesday. However, we are done with section 8.5 already. So basically, we are one class ahead of the schedule. Okay, that's not bad. So let's look at the section 8.6. In my view, section 8.6 is quite easy if you can manage section 8.5. So let's see. Let me switch to my document camera. So here is section 8.6, okay? Please download the lecture notes from the module of the Canvas. This class is about a double angle and half angle. In the previous class, we learned if we have two angles adding each other, what do we do? However, in this case, a double angle is just one angle adding itself. Okay, hope that would be easy to understand. So basically, we are using exactly the same formula to get a so-called double angle formula. Once we get a double angle formula, we can go the reverse way to see what is a half angle, because two half angles adding up together give you the original angle. That's it. Okay, so now you see the connection between what we are going to learn today and what we learned in the previous class. So let's head into the examples. First one, how do we derive the double angle formula? Well, we're done with this formula, right? Sine alpha plus beta. So what is sine alpha plus beta? Can anyone tell me what's the formula for that one? Say it, please. I'm waiting for you. What? Nobody remember? It's sine alpha cosine beta plus sine beta cosine alpha, right? Well, luckily we do not have an in-class quiz today. I think if we have in-class quiz today about this material, our class will not do very good. Okay, so review what you learned before is very important. So here, what are we going to do with sine theta plus theta? Still the same formula, just replace alpha with theta, beta with theta. So we got sine theta, cosine theta, plus sine theta, cosine theta. Okay? What is that? It's just 2 sine theta, cosine theta. That's it. Okay, anyone has any question how we do that one? Well, let's continue. Okay. So for this one, I'm not going to do it for you. Instead, I'm going to give you some instruction how to do it. First of all, remember what is cosine alpha plus beta. So it is cosine alpha cosine beta minus sine alpha sine beta. Okay, then replace theta with alpha with theta, replace beta with theta to see what you get here. I give you 2 minutes to try to write this result. Okay, so just follow the same steps that you did here. Just write it one line, second line, then you're done. 2 minutes to do it on your own. Two minutes to do it on your own, by the way. Using this formula, you are almost there. Just being slow, just 2 steps, you're done. Okay, so I think 2 minutes is up. So let's together figure these things out. Your theta, your alpha is just your theta. Your beta is just your theta. So what do you have? Cosine theta. Cosine alpha becomes cosine theta. Cosine beta also becomes cosine theta. Sine alpha becomes sine theta. Sine beta becomes sine theta. Well, if you merge it, it's cosine theta minus sine theta squared, everything squared. That's it. Does this look something like the Pythagorean theorem? Pythagorean, this guy, identity. What did I say? Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equal to 1, right? But this is not a plus, this is minus. And we can use the Pythagorean identity to try to derive different forms for this formula. For example, Pythagorean theorem tells us sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared theta. Okay? So if we want to get a formula with so many cosine theta, we can change this sine square theta to be 1 minus cosine square theta. So if we change the sine squared, if we do such a subtraction, you get 2 cosine squared minus 1. Okay? That's one form of it. So this is the correct answer. This is also a correct answer, just using the Pythagorean theorem to write in a different form, using only cosine theta. What if we convert the cosine theta to be sine theta, so that this thing, we can write this thing in terms of sine theta. Okay, again, use the Pythagorean theorem. Cosine squared is 1 minus squared sine. So this guy is 1 minus sine squared theta minus sine squared theta. Cosine squared become 1 minus sine squared. So it's all, so 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Okay, this also work. So for the same question, you can write in 3 different forms using the Pythagorean theorem. I will tell you this one is the most frequently used one. Okay, I put a star here. This form is the most frequently used. So if you must memorize something, memorize this one. And as always, the Pythagorean identity is super important. This should be in your memory list also. Okay, this will be super useful to solving many trig identities. Okay, any questions so far? Let's continue. Okay, now we have double angle formulas. So what should we do? We should find some exact values of it. Well, here's the thing. You know the formulas already, and you know the values already. So look at the formulas. These formulas just have sine squared. So sine theta is just input. These also have cosine theta. So in order to figure out the two values here and here, you also need to figure out what's your cosine theta, okay? Because this is one of your input. And the question told you it is the theta is in the first quadrant, which means cosine theta is also greater than 0. So cosine theta, use a Pythagorean identity, you can figure out the cosine theta. Instead of giving you the answers, I give you 4 minutes to figure out the two stuff. Should be easy, just like your regular homework question you done before. Okay, just using the formula here, Pythagorean theorem, figure out cosine theta, then just plug into the formula here and here to figure out what is the double angle. 4 minutes to do those small two. Take it easy, no rush. Ask me any question if you have. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, I want to ask about your progress. Can anyone tell me what is cosine theta in this case?
It would be 4/5.
Very good. Pay attention here. 3/5. That's such a classical triangle, 3/4/5 triangle we are doing. Okay? 3/4/5, very classical. So the cosine theta will be 4/5. Okay, this is the most popular triangle in our class. Once you get that, so sine 2 times theta is just 2 sine theta cosine theta. The formula is here. We derived it already. You just plug in the numbers, do some elementary school math. 2 times 3/5, 4/5 is 25 in the bottom, 24 in the upper part. That's it. Anyone has any question about this one? Cool. How about this one? Just 2 cosine theta minus 1. Okay, I said this is the most popular formula. And we figure out the cosine theta is just this guy. You just plug in the values and do some elementary school math. 2, 4, 5 squared minus 1. This is 4 squared is 32. 25 minus 1. So you got 7/25. That's it. Anyone has any question? Just so simple. Well, we are gradually increasing our level of difficulty. Once we are done with sine and cosine, we are going to do with tangent. So last time we learned tangent alpha plus beta is tangent alpha plus tangent beta minus tangent alpha tangent theta. So what are you going to do here? Oh, sorry, this is beta. Again, change this alpha to be theta, change this beta to be theta. Do the same process. I give you another 2 or 3 minutes to do that. And you would also need to do this question. Still using the sine alpha plus beta approach. Sine alpha cosine beta plus sine beta cosine alpha. Okay, I write this formula here again for your convenience. Again, this is just your alpha, this is just your beta. Then apply the above formula, do more calculation here. This is how things work in today's class. Basically, we figure out the basic formulas. Then we just use the basic formulas to derive something more complex. Okay, so instead of me talking all the time, let me give you 3 minutes on this one and 5 minutes on this one. Okay? 3 minutes on this one, 5 minutes on this one. So work on a scratch paper. Feel free to ask me any question. Do not overthink about it. Just use the basic formulas we learned on the first page. It's sufficient. Now we are back. So I hope you have tried it. Anyway, we're not in a real classroom. I do not have enough surveillance on whether you have tried it or not. So let's just assume you have tried it. So what would this be? Again, replace this alpha with theta, replace this beta with theta. So this tangent theta plus tangent theta, 1 minus tangent theta times tangent theta. So you have 2 tangent theta minus 1 minus tangent theta squared. That's it. Anyone has any question on this one? Okay, sounds all good. How about this one? Let's replace this with 2 theta, beta with theta. So what do we get? We get sine 2 theta cosine theta plus sine theta cosine 2 theta, okay? Once we get here, look at it. Sine 2 theta, cosine 2 theta. This should remind us of the formulas we learned on the first page. This one and this one. So we plug in those formulas. Try to simplify what you have. Is equal to 2 sine theta. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cosine theta. Cosine theta plus sine theta 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. Let's do this one. Sine squared, oh sorry, not sine squared, sine to the 1. Okay, let's cross this out. It's just sine theta. Cosine squared theta plus 2 is from here. Sine theta cosine squared theta. Sine theta times this sine theta is here. That's it. That's our final answer. So-called trial angle formula is derived by us. Any question before we continue? Okay, let's continue. Well, what is this mess? Let's look at it carefully. What do you have? Cosine 2 theta, sine square theta. They are different. You can see they are different. And we do not like different things. So what can we do? We try to convert them into the same thing. So we know we can convert cosine 2 theta into something related with cosine theta. We can also convert sine squared theta into something related with cosine theta. So recall, cosine 2 theta is 2 cosine squared theta minus 1, right? Sine squared theta is 1 minus cosine theta. That's our trick to convert everything into something just with cosine theta. So let's do the conversion. This guy, 2 cosine theta. So the conversion is, sorry, this is sine square theta. 2 cosine square theta minus 1, 6 times this guy, plus 6 minus 6 cosine theta. So this is 4, 6 minus 4 cosine square theta, minus 1 plus 6 plus 5. That's it. That's what you have. And we told this equal to 4. If this equal to 4, that's equal to 4. Then we try to merge everything to this side. So negative 4 cosine squared, move this 5 to this side equal to negative 1. And cosine squared theta, divide both sides with negative 4, you got 1 over 4. So our cosine theta is 1/2 or negative 1/2. We still cannot distinguish which one. We do not know which one yet. So what should we do if we don't know whether it is cosine or if it is positive or negative? Well, we are told that theta can be anywhere on the unit circle. So both of the solutions would work. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the solution for the first one when cosine theta is 1/2? What is theta? When cosine theta is 1/2, so what is theta?
Pi over 3.
Very good. That's one of the solution. Notice that we are not restricting ourselves to any quadrant. So every quadrant will work. There is another solution on the second quadrant. Oh no, sorry. In the fourth quadrant, another solution on the first quadrant. Pi over 3 is here. If you flip the other side, that would also work, right? So the other solution is negative pi over 3. However, we are 0 between 2 pi. Negative pi over 3 is not good, so it is 5 pi over 3. Okay, get it? Flip the other side, you get 5 pi over 3. How about the second one? When cosine theta is negative 1/2, what can theta be?
Wouldn't it just be a 7 pi over 6?
Very good. The angle would be somewhere here. So this is 7 pi over 6. And you can flip this angle to the other side. When you do such a flip, this is negative 7 pi over 6. Negative 7 pi. I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake. So let's calculate. It's pi over 2 plus pi over 6. This angle should be 6, 3. Oh, apologize.
Yeah, I think I got it wrong. I'm sorry.
Is
No
it
problem.
2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3?
Very good. 2 pi over 3. Luckily, we have a 7 here. Just add a horizontal line below the 7, you get 2. Oh, you also need to change this one. Okay, this is one with angle. Obviously, you can flip to the other side. So it's becomes negative 2 pi over 3. So it's 4 pi over 3. That's it. That's all what you need. Anyone has any question? Any question? Well, if nobody has any question, let's continue to the second page. I talked so much, and I see we still have plenty of time during today's class. So instead of me doing everyone, I want you to give you time to do everyone. Before you do that, I will give you some instructions on how to do each one of them. Okay? So first of all, I will give you 25 minutes to do the third page and the last page. Okay? Before the 25 minutes begin, let me give you instructions. We need to derive the half angle formula. And we are told that we can use this formula to derive it. if we replace theta with theta over 2, what do we get? We get a cosine. 2 theta becomes theta. 1 minus 2 sine squared. Theta becomes half theta. Then you can move everything to this side and divide by 2, then take the square root. So cosine theta minus 1 equal to negative 2 sine squared theta over 2. Flip the sign on both sides. 1 minus cosine theta equal to 2 sine squared theta over 2. Divided by 2 on both sides. Taking a square root of both sides. Remember, you always have positive and negative. That's it. We're done with this one already. So sine theta over 2, the half angle, is just square root of this one. You have two possibilities, positive and negative. Okay, any question on my derivation? Well, I should use this example. The second question I've done exactly same way. So this is just cosine theta, replace theta with theta over 2. This is 2 cosine squared theta over 2 minus 1. Try to do the same process here and factor it in order to do cosine theta over 2. Okay, eventually you should figure out this guy. And I tell you, since you are using a squared, there's two possibilities, plus or minus. For this question, you apply the same technique. You know what is tangent to theta is. So again, set a theta to be 1/2 or to be a theta over 2. Use the formula you get here. Or there is an even easier way. You get sine half theta, you get cosine half theta. So you just use sine half theta divided by cosine half theta, you get tangent half theta. That's also a possibility. So on the next page, you are just using the formulas you get in the previous page to write the answers. Okay, plugging in the formulas, you get answers. I understand you may still get stuck on one of the questions. What I would recommend is this. On the last page of the lecture notes, all the results are given here already. So first, you try to do it on your own. Then you compare it with the answers to see where you get it wrong. Okay? So plenty of time. So I would recommend you to do it on your own for 25 minutes. So please do it for 25 minutes and we will come back around 9 or 9:05-ish. Okay? Do those questions, we'll come back around 9 or 9:05. Depends on your progress. Any question before you guys start working on your own?
Would you just be able to leave the docu-camera on the first part that we did, just the one right above that, just so we can see it as an example?
Pleasure. Let me move up.
This was the last one that we did, the 2 cosine squared, where we did the half angle, the first half angle?
This one? Oh, this one?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, 25 minutes. Actually, 20 to 25 minutes. We meet around 9 or 9:05 again. Start working on your own. Any question right now? Okay, so you guys start walking. Okay, how things are going here? Have you guys finished it or got stuck somewhere?
Were we supposed to continue? We were supposed to go into the second page, right? Starting number 3.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
obviously.
Mm-hmm. I was just having a little bit of trouble on, I guess, starting or kind of working through number 3A.
3A. Okay, great. So glad you have this question. So let's finish every one of them. We just follow the same steps as we did here. Then everything will be easy. So I write down this one already. So if we change theta to be half theta, cosine square theta is cosine half squares, cosine squared half theta. So what is cosine theta? So let's write on this step. You move everything, the 1 to this side becomes cosine theta plus 1 equal to 2 cosine squared half theta. Then you divide both sides with 2. So 2 cosine theta plus 1 equal to cosine squared half theta. Well, the last step is taking the square root of both sides. So plus or minus 1 plus cosine theta over 2. That's it. Okay. Any question on how we get to this step? Well, we get cosine and sine. So what is tangent? Tangent is just this guy divided by this guy. And the 2 can cancel with these 2 because they are both in the bottom. Square root, you can merge that. Plus minus still there. So your answer is just straight written. 1 minus cosine theta over 2. 1 plus cosine theta over 2 equals to plus or minus square root 1 minus cosine theta 1 plus cosine theta. That's it. Any question?
Can you scroll down a little so we can see?
Okay. Any question on this part? You can also compare it with the solution set, which is on the last page. You see they're same thing. Okay, same thing as here. Well, once we're done here, the next page is just plug the formulas you have. Even though you don't have the formulas again, the formula is given out to the last page of the class notes. So just plug in. Okay. Well. Fantastic. That's our most fabulous 3, 4, 5 triangle. Okay, again, you can just write cosine theta is 4 over 5 because this is 3, 4, 5 triangle. So famous, so famous. So what is sine half theta? According to this formula, we just got 1 minus cosine over 2. So it's plus or minus 1 minus 4 over 5 over 2, which gives you plus or minus square root of 1 over 10th. But notice, is it really plus or minus? Let's look at here. Theta is between 0 and pi over 2. So it is in the first quadrant. Half of the angle is still between 0 and pi over 2. Half of theta is still between 0 and pi over 2. Still in the first quadrant. let's say, because 0 between theta over 2 first quadrant, so is half of that is still in the first quadrant. Okay, so we are in the first quadrant. Sine, cosine must be positive. So sine theta over 2 must be positive. Okay, just keep the positive one. If you want, you can also write in the simplified form, square root of 10 over 10. That's it. Any question on this one? Well, let's continue. What is this guy? What is this formula, by the way? Can anyone tell me what's the formula for the half cosine?
It's going to be the plus or minus square root of 1 plus cosine of theta over 2.
Very good. Just use plus sign here. The difference between half theta sine, here is minus, here is cosine. Again, we are in the first quadrant, so it must be positive. In this case, it must be positive. Just the same reason as here. Which implies cosine half theta greater than 0, sine half theta also greater than 0. So our cosine half theta here is positive. This guy is 1 plus 4 over 5 over 2. 1 plus 4 over 5 is 9. 9 over 5 is 9 over 10. So square root of 9 over 10, get 3 over square root of 10. And if you like, you can write it 3 times square root of 10 over 10. That's it. Any question? Here comes our last one. No, not last one. The double angle one. Well, we are told what is this guy? This guy equal to 2 tangent theta 1 minus tangent square theta. According to what we have here, sine, cosine. So tangent theta is sine over cosine, 3 over 4. Okay, sine divided cosine. So what is this guy? 2 times 3 over 4, 1 minus 3 over 4 squared, which is 3 over 2, 1 minus 9 over 16, 7 over 16, 3 over 2. Then you have 7, 10, 8, 24. That's it. Any question? Well. No question? Here comes our last one. This is plus or minus. 1 minus cosine divided by 1 cosine. However, again, notice that we are still in the first quadrant. Both sine, cosine, they are positive. So you can use this formula to derive the answer, but make sure you keep the positive sign here. However, there is an easy trick. The easy trick is that we know what is sine, what is cosine already. So the tangent half theta is just sine divided by cosine. So it's this guy divided by this guy. Can anyone tell me the answer? Just read it.
Just square root of 10 over 10.
Well, sine is square root of 10 over 10. Cosine is 3 times square root of 10 over 10. So after you square root of 10 over 10 cancel with this square root of 10 over 10. So you have 1/3, right? Let me write down more. Thank you, thank you. Let me write down more clearly. This guy is just 3 times this guy. So your final answer is just 1/3. That's it. Perfect timing. We're 9:14. Give me 30 seconds. Let me take a screenshot for attendance. Okay. Excellent. I'm an expert in arranging the time.
How long do you think?
Okay, it's 9:15 already. So feel free to go. And if you have any questions, stay here and ask me.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi, Professor. I have a question.
Yes, please, Hussein.
So my question is in take home part.
Yeah.
exam. So I get it, the first one and the last one I understand, but the first one is a 9x plus 8 cos x equal 3 and then solve for x. So
Can I share your screen?
yeah,
If you can share your screen, I can look at what you have written down already. Let me give you the right of sharing.
oh, okay.
Now
Let
you
me,
can share your screen, please.
I wrote in paper, so let me screenshot. Mm. So this one,
Okay. Which one? 19 or 20?
19.
Okay.
So I wrote in paper here. So I just try to understand. So we solve for x, right?
Well, I tell you, there is an easy way to solve this question. So you just draw the line 19x plus 8 cosine x minus 3 on decimals to see where the line cross 0. Let me show you. So look at the decimals. Your function should be y equal to
19x
19x. Then what? Read it.
plus 8 cosine x.
Plus 8 cosine.
Yeah.
Oops.
8
Plus 8 cosine x
equal 3 minus 3.
minus 3. Do you see the line for this function where the cross 0?
0 and 25 minus 25.
Yeah, it cross from 0 here. If y equal to 0 here, it means 19x plus 8x, 8 cosine x equal to 3. Do you get that?
You said 19x plus 8 cosine equal to 3.
So what is the question? What is the question?
Its question says solve for x.
Yeah, question is solving for x.
Yes.
19x plus 8 cosine x equal to 3. That is the original question, right?
Yes.
Now look at a new question. When you want to find a 0 for that one, that 0 is simply this 0 when
Right,
y goes to 0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just click on the decimals. You see the point. When x is negative 0.5 to 0.25, y is 0, right?
Okay.
Yeah, think about it. I know the things can be first hard to understand the first time.
Yeah, because I wonder like if we have a like y equal to 0. So you say 19x plus 2x, where put the minus 3? That I wonder like.
Oh, don't push her away. Keep her here. I like her. Her or he.
She's like trying to play with me all this morning.
Yeah,
Start this one again. Thank you, God.
no problem. Just, I like her.
Yeah, you like cat, right? Some people they don't. Okay.
Yeah. So do you get this question?
Yes, I understand. very
Okay,
much.
cool.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You
a
have
good
other
one.
question I can help you?
Yeah, that only. I would email you if I get it. But I understand 20 and 21, but 19 is a little bit hard for me.
No problem. Take your
Okay.
time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Let's do this Saturday, right?
Yes, do this Saturday.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. See you.